welcome to round 3 of British Cycling National Trophy Cyclocross in Torbay or Paignton. And yeah, my son was doing this one, so I thought I might as well since I'm there. Um, and you can see it's I'm gridded right on the second row. I don't know how that happened. It was quite a small field of 26 or 27, and I was gridded 16th, so I just about squeezed onto the second row. So a place where I'm not normally at all. So Paul Lloyd's ahead of me, number 2 there, and the heavy hitters are all on that front row. So yeah, really nice. Yeah, this is the course where um, I almost think it's a collective conspiracy that it's super muddy at Paignton, because everyone was talking about how bad the conditions were. But, you know, it's been dry for ages, hasn't it? So the grass was lush and there wasn't much mud at all. It was very much like Derby round 1. So yeah, no mud problems at all. So didn't need water, didn't need anything. Not many people were coming in for a bike change. Yes, it's taken a while to do this recording. I just haven't managed to find 50 minutes somewhere to do it. Coming from Wessex, obviously we had Paul Lloyd and Adrian Lansley at the front. We also had myself, Richard Lewis, and Rich Warner, and Kev Tonner as well, all racing. I think that was it. Matt Smith was supposed to do it, but I wasn't feeling well, so he pulled out. Yeah, so we're about to go. I think there's like 30 seconds left, or something like that. There you go. He's waving it up in the air. This is a pretty flat course. Not many ups and downs at all. This is right on the seafront. Yeah, pretty flat course. I was certainly less nervous than I was at the first race, but at this level, everyone is very strong, so wasn't expecting to be very far forward at all in this race. And off we go. The starting has been really bad of late. Everyone goes by me, but then I get my speed up, hold my own, and that's okay. There's Rich Warner just going past me there on the right. Oh no, that's Richard Lewis, and I think Rich Warner's ahead of him. Yeah, and that's Kev Tonner ahead of me. So all clustered together. Helen Patterson did this race before, and she ran a lot of this, and she said it was faster, and might have been better. That all crashed into Kev. Everyone's off the bike at this stage. Richard's. I'm just trying to get. This is the trickiest, most technical bit. Is this section here, which was you just needed to do it reasonably well. I mean, I didn't. I mean, look at that. Oh, I came to a complete standstill. And yeah, just tricky. Whoa, that was a bit of a mistake. He completely lost his back end and completely stopped that guy from riding. So I'm behind Rich, which is good. He's a good will to follow, and me and Rich have been battling all season. It's been really good fun racing. So I thought I'm just going to try and stay on his wheel, and we'll see what happens. So I'm on his wheel. There's a chap in front, and Kev Tonner's in front, and you can see it's just fast and flowy, and flat. There you go, 3 Fs. And everyone's going really hard. I mean, I'm going to say this a lot during this commentary. there wasn't really, unless you had like major power, there wasn't really many places where you could really make up that much time. The tiny little places which maybe you rode a little better, but it was almost about not making any mistakes. Like up here, you could make a mistake. I mean, I didn't there at all. Um, but Richard's gone a bit further ahead through this sandpit, which is nothing really. It just flattens out straight away. Um, yeah, there wasn't to move up. You needed tremendous power, really. Um, I don't. If the basic level of not basic, but if your skills are okay, then you're kind of okay. Then it comes down to power. So there wasn't that much changing of places during the race, which is uh, I guess less like a Wessex race where there's always a lot of chopping and changing, um, well, nearly always. Um, and I guess if you're entering a national trophy race, um, you know, everyone's about the same level apart from the top guys. So there's not so much chopping of places around. So maybe on a muddy race where there's more skill involved, you'd get more of it. But so far, I did Derby. I've done this one. Hasn't been muddy. I missed South Shields. Thought it was a bit far to go. Um, so yeah, you, you're going to see the same people. Spoiler alert for most of the race. And I just try and these rollers are. I mean, I'm just no good at riding those really. I mean, I just lose time. Lose time on the rollers to the others. So that's a skill thing which you really want to get better at. I wasn't very good at it, but I didn't lose touch, and now I'm into this really tricky. Well, you have to go so slowly. I think I go too fast in this section, and then I go too deep into the corner. Better just to go at a steady pace and not lose any time. So I didn't have a heart rate monitor on today, which was really annoying. That's one thing I forgot. So I found myself kind of going into the red, just trying to catch up because you don't want to ride a race by yourself. That's just not as much fun. You'd much rather be in a race with other people. So I was determined not to let these guys ahead of me go. This is a bit tricky. Little tricky down into there. Get off. And then when do you mount? Do you remount at the top or at the bottom on the way down? I think I should have remounted on the way down. I think when I saw other people doing it, I think they were doing better by remounting there. And I was remounted on the way up straight away, which, and then you have to turn while you're maybe not quite clipped in. So, yeah, it's just one of those things with CX is that, it's so easy to do the same thing, thinking that's the only way to do it, when actually there might be a better way. I just need to work on that kind of awareness of kind of, was there a better way to do that? I did that exactly the same thing last week at the Wessex League race at, where was it? Newbury Showground, where I kept trying to ride one of the hills when I should have run it when I was struggling to get up it. Anyway, all stuff to learn for the future. So I wouldn't say I've been dropped, but I'm distanced a little bit. This bit here, weirdly, I was faster than many people and go around it. Well, maybe the grip was good or something, but then on to, sprinting here to kind of catch up. And I just don't want to lose touch of those people. So, there's Richard, there's someone ahead, and I just want to not lose touch with them. So that's all I'm focused on. Just very hard to move up. I've got a flash there of Rich Warner. who'd come down to have a race. I think supported by Barry. And almost there's Rich again on his blue bike. And you're just trying to carry speed, take good lines through here, not slip out. And onto first lap done. And try and get some speed here and try and catch up, but I wasn't feeling dispirited here, but I kind of thought, oh, I am going pretty hard and I'm kind of moving backwards, but at the same time, you know, my fitness is reasonably good at the moment, so I just thought, hopefully, you know, sometimes you just have to be patient and just slowly catch up. Here, you could, if you were confident, you could really let the bike go and go around there, even though it's a bit, you think, oh, if I go in too fast here, it's so tempting to get on the brakes. But you see, I've managed to catch up a little bit. You know, Richard's not too far away. I get a decent line through there. And I think the chap in front has overtaken Richard in that section. This is a really tricky. I did so many times I rode this not very well. You just don't want to lose time. If you could go at the high line, I think that was better. But you know, I rarely managed it. And this is the part of the course in pre-riding that I was worried about the most, more than any other part of it, which was kind of fine. So yeah, I'm happy here because I'm back in the mix here. So that's Richard Lewis ahead. I wonder if I can find the race number. I'm sure I'll get close to that guy. I'll see his race number. I'll be able to say who it is. I think it's probably Steve Jones from MV Senders. We had a nice chat at the end. So, yeah, as I was saying, you know, I was feeling pretty good, but you know, we are all going pretty much the same speed. Richard's gone for a little dig there, put a bit of extra effort, which would have, you know, which would have hurt, and probably because I was behind him. So I thought, oh, I don't want to let Richard get ahead of me. Number 9. Oh, it's Ben Vaughan. Ben Vaughan from Velo Club Lincoln. Yeah, that was a mistake. So I tried to take a tight line there, which was stupid, wasn't it? I thought it was better, but it just sent me into that post. I mean, it wasn't a hard hit or anything, but look, I've got all that catching up to do. I've got to try and get back to Ben. And Richard seems like a dot now ahead. So it's like, oh, another mistake. Rich Warner, kept on going past, and bet Richard Lewis is thinking, oh, I've got a nice. He's made a mistake. He's come off as per usual, and I've got a nice gap. So, you know, as I said, I didn't have a heart rate monitor on today, but I'm sure it was very high because it, you know, it was, you know, constant. No rest at all. Just constantly on the power. So trying to not panic, not try and, you know, go really deep in the red. I just wanted to just keep a good pace, and in the bits there I'm a little bit faster, try and capitalise on that. So, you know, at least Ben in front is not far away. I can still see him, which has got the motivation. There's Richard flash out the side, and yeah, just try and catch up. And you know, in these slow sections, you do catch up because you get that Constantino effect. And he doesn't look too far behind, so I'm just going to try and catch up, sprint out the corners, and hopefully catch up a bit. So I'm much closer now, so I'm just going to keep trying and try and catch up. I think because, well, I'm just going to speculate here, but maybe because Paignton. Oh, I got a nice line there, and I got right onto his wheel from taking a slightly better line there. Let's see what happens. So he got on at the top really well, and look at me. I got on. It's just my remounts are just not the best compared to other riders. I lost quite a bit there. We went right on his wheel. It's just those tiny little mistakes. Tiny little mistakes, or just not mistakes necessarily, but just not doing it as well as other people. But that's the joy of CX. There's always something to work on. But I'm now back with Ben, which is good. You could have messed that turn up. I didn't, but I thought, I wasn't expecting it to go like that, but I didn't. It was fine. This is a bit of a power part of the circuit. You have to really put the effort in, or else you're going to lose a lot of time. But it's a bit of an effort, a bit of a drag there. And then you come to this section where I think I'm quite good at. I seem to go fast here. Let's see if I catch up with Ben going through this. I think I just kept pedaling. In fact, I think I nearly had to brake there. And right on his wheel. That's good. And hopefully Richard isn't too far ahead. Was that? Oh, he's got a good gap on me. But it's a long race. I can't remember what I was speaking about before. If I got distracted by that, can't remember. Maybe I'll remember in a minute. Oh, I know. I was talking about numbers. I mean, it did seem quite low numbers in nearly all the races. Certainly compared to Derby, where there was a huge number. So probably geography plays a good part in that. Just the fact that this course is in Devon, and it's just if you live in the north, it's quite a long way to come. Derby's in bang smack middle of the country, so it's just less of a journey for everyone to get to. Am I going to get by here? Must have got a better traction depth through there. Managed to get past Ben, and this one went pretty well. Great. So as I said, there was 26 in my race, and I think I watched the junior girls on Sunday. Was it the junior girls? I could be getting that wrong. Junior girls, but there's 12 in that race, which isn't that many. So I understand that. I think the last 2 years previously, it's been unbelievably muddy. I mean, just a serious amount of running. So maybe that's another thing that people didn't want to do a running race essentially. So that might have slowed. Might be a reason why people didn't want to go to the race. Hopefully the other races get more numbers. Clanfield Cross is coming up quite soon, I expect there to be good numbers at that race because it incorporates a Wessex League race. So a lot of the Wessex League riders will be hopefully riding. I think you need to make sure you've got the right race license. But you know, I think you can pay a supplement or something so you can do it. But hopefully there'll be a lot of people turning up to the race. I've certainly entered. I'm really looking forward to it. Um, yeah, and at the Clanfield Cross, they're doing quite a few extra things. There's an under 14s, under 14s. There is a under 12s, I think, night race. So they're going to get a course out. I think it's on Sunday. Don't quote me. On Sunday, where um, it'll be a night race for under 12s. You don't normally get to ride on a national trophy weekend. And they're getting some floodlights, so that would be really cool. It'll be a really fun race. I think the entries either full or nearly full. The other thing that's happening is there's an inter-regional under 16s race as well, made up of every region's young riders from that age group. So I think it's a team of 4 boys, 4 girls from each region. So that should be really good fun. And there's all of the teams all the regions have put in teams. I think there's maybe I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but it's like 10, 12 regions, and teams of 8, and they're going to be doing 4 different events, including the actual national trophy race. But there's going to be some skills events, which is about really good CX skills, which there'll be points allocated. It's going to be quite a lot of fun trying to make sure that all the scoring and all that works well, which is always tricky when it's live. But Sam Genazzini's dad, Nick, is chief organizer, and I know he's put in a lot of work to make sure that runs well, and I'm sure it will, because you've got a good loads and loads of volunteers to help with this. So that should be good. Apparently the interregional championship event used to happen, but it got just stopped running. British Cycling didn't run it. I mean, it's not British Cycling kind of event. It's been organised just using the same day. So hopefully that'll be good fun and good for the spectators, particularly because Sunday is normally a quieter day at the National Trophy. You've got the junior boys, junior girls, then you've got elite men, elite women. So that's only 4 races, whereas on Saturday you've got loads. You just got everything else basically. So it's good. I think it's really good that they've tried to fill up the day and hopefully attract lots of spectators and lots of interest into CX. Fantastic sport that it is. So you can see, I'm going really hard. I'm not really making any terrible mistakes at all, but so hard to catch up to Richard Lewis. This is my section. Let's see if I manage to get a little bit closer to him. But I'm just working hard. Look, yeah, that is. Rarely do I say something like this, but that section actually works well for me. I don't know why. I was running probably 17 psi, which I know is really grippy on grass for me, because I've really tested it. So it was working well for me. And in front of Richard is, I don't know, I reckon that might be Steve Jones. I think that's going to be Steve Jones if we ever get closer to seeing it. So this is like 20 minutes in, and I remember, I've said it on many of my videos, but the first time I look at my time, that's when I know it's getting pretty hard now, and I looked down and I think it said 23 minutes on my Garmin, and I thought still quite a long way to go. Um, so yeah, painful. It was painful as these races always are. But you know, you got Richard ahead of me. Um, Good motivation to try and catch up to him and not make a mistake. So this is good. This is a bit of a Richard Lewis pedal on video, really, because I just follow him. Uh, he takes. Oh, yeah, he lost a bit of time there. Yeah, just slippery. Um, there were loads of riders who, especially on the first lap, who came a cropper in that section from when you come off the track and then you go through these slightly muddy, uppy, downy bits, twisty. Look at that. Oh, absolutely messed up. As I narrate this, commentate over this, I'm holding my head, thinking, oh, why did you do that? Why did you do that? And that's the annoying thing. The annoying thing about Richard Lewis is that he hardly ever makes a mistake, which is really, really annoying. So, at the same time, that's what's great about CX. It's not just about power, you know. It's about your skills. So, Richard, A.B. demonstrating that he's a lot more skillful than I am. Uh, Rich Warner was laughing at me in practice when he saw me come off the scouting lap covered in mud because I had already crashed, which he found highly amusing. Because he said, "How did you manage to crash?" And I said, "Well, you know, it's tricky." And I entered came off the straight at full speed, and as you turn to go left down the grass, there's a tiny little lip, and you can almost get a bit of air, but you know, essentially the front wheel comes off the ground, and it was really wet grass, and I just slid across the grass. I don't think I was the only one who did that. So, but there you go. You got to test those limits, and now you know I'm dying, but I'm thinking, oh, Richard's dying too. He must be dying. And when you get off here, you think, oh, there's so much. It takes so much energy sometimes to get off the bike, run a few paces when you're in the red already, and oh, it's just so frustrating. I'm sure I'm not the only one who felt this. Where in the race, you know, you get close to someone and then they pull away. You get close to them and then they pull away. They get, you know, just went on and on and on, and actually making an overtake was so difficult. I mean, if you forget the start, I've just overtaken that guy, Ben Vaughan. That's it, which is not normally what happens in a CX race. Um, so yeah, there you go. But you know, you race what's in front of you. Have as much fun as you can. Um, Hopefully next year, for anyone doing it, there'll be more entries into it. I think that is Steve Jones ahead of Richard. But you know, he's gone away again. And this bit here, that's Kev Tonner ahead. Actually, that made me feel good because Kev's really strong. A strong rider. You know, he used to do the elites, and then now he seems to be riding V40s. And he always finishes ahead of me. So he's in the shot almost. Certainly when you go on a kind of where you go around a corner and come back, he's often in shot. So I thought, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good because I'm not a million miles slower. So yeah, Richard's gone again. I didn't take that corner very well. just don't want to slip out on that corner. I really didn't like this. Look, Richard's gone round the corner. What he's done, I think, is better. I've jumped on already, and I think if you can remount perfectly as you go around the corner, that's better. But I think I was a little bit scared of remounting and then going down the hill straight away, and those are little things that lose you time, and also puts you in the red by not being efficient about it. Yeah, that yeah. I was going to say something, but the moment's gone. So, because I should have said it when you could see the picture. Yeah, round the corner to the right. This is the bit where you have to go hard, or else you're just going to lose time to people. And just try and hold the distance. I'm not going to catch here, but again, coming up to that bit where I normally am a bit faster than the few people that are around me, and hopefully I can gain a bit of time into Richard, but probably into that frustrating, why aren't I able to get any closer to him feeling. But yeah, look, I have caught up a bit. And that's not the concertina effect. I am a little bit closer. What I wanted to do is get onto the straight on his wheel. That's what I'd have liked to have done. Well, that was my goal. I don't know if I did that because I'm recording this 6 days later. I just can't remember. Can't remember what happened. But it was a great weekend. I mean, it was really good fun because that was a terrible corner. We went up on Friday. Ben's a day off school, so we can go and walk the course. So it's familiar to him and me. There were quite a lot of riders and support who were there on Friday night at the Premier Inn, and also Saturday night we stayed to watch the juniors, so it was always nice to see them racing, and some of the top riders like Oscar Amy, who won the juniors. It is really nice. So yeah, there's 15, 20 of us at dinner, and I was on Friday. I'm not going to have a drink, obviously, because it's not the best drinking and performance. Probably not the best bedfellows. So I was good and didn't have a drink. While Steph Jacobs did, and I was looking at his Vera Moretti longingly, thinking I'm going to have one of those the next day, and that's what I did on Saturday night. The Beefeater that's tight. There's a big group of us. I caught up with Richard. I came in pretty deep there though. I haven't messed it up though. Yeah, so a few of us, we had a couple of beers afterwards, which was very pleasant after you've raced. I'm not going to be. I think that might be a back marker. I like to race, but I do like to have a drink now and again. I'm not one of those riders who, not any criticism, who is at the level where your diet is absolutely super healthy the whole time. I try and eat healthily, but it is hard to do all the time, isn't it? It's a choice you make, isn't it? I do cook healthy food all the time, but occasionally it's nice to have something that's not quite as healthy. So Richard again, it is that same distance ahead. I'm hoping he's feeling tired. The guy in front of Richard, Steve Jones, I believe, is the same distance. I caught up again. Caught up on your wheel again, Richard. So and that, I think that's the thing. You know, there are different parts where you are faster than others on, um, and I'm right with him here, and I'm hoping maybe this is where I could go past him. That was so close, but the VMAT didn't go quite as well. Um, but it's heartening that um, that's the case. And I think every time I got close to Richard, it probably just put him a spur on to move up because he didn't want me to come past him, which is really annoying. Um, but good fun racing. So let's see if I can see that guy's number. I'm sure I'll confirm that is indeed Steve Jones from MV Senders. I wonder where that is from, where that club is from. 19. Yes, it is Steve. It's Steve Jones. So I'm thinking, I get past Steve, so I can get up to Richard, who's now heads off in the distance. Tried to go down there, wasn't going to happen. I'd just taken us both out. Um, but I'm going hard here because the race adrenaline is on, and I'm thinking, right, here we go, bit of a spurt in there, dive in there, which I did, and get it back up to Richard. However, I took that corner so badly. I was absolutely crawling round.
That so badly.
But I did get ahead. And then on the gas. Hopefully Richard saw me, knows that I'm behind him, putting some effort in properly into the red, not to lose sight of him. And this is one of the hardest things about cyclocross, something I really experienced last year as riding, not all the races, but a decent number of them. It's so hard to maintain and improve incredibly hard your fitness throughout the whole season. Your fitness just kind of goes up and down um, throughout the season, and so you know, I think Richard's fitness was certainly better than mine entering the season, and then I kind of caught up a bit, and now maybe his fitness is going past me a bit. So that's the fun of it all, and we're doing the Southern regional champs. It's regional champs everywhere, isn't it? So we're doing that. How has he got away from me there? I don't know. We're doing the regional champs tomorrow at Dalton Barracks, and we'll see how we go. I mean, the weather this weekend is pretty horrendous. We've got Storm Bertie coming in, so with lots of rain. There'll be lots of rain and mud in Dalton Barracks, and but me and Richard could finish 10 or 20 places apart depending on what happens at Dalton Barracks, because there's a bit of a bike breaker, that course, and it's a bit of a bike breaker, so anything could happen because there's these awful rocks that are, you can't see them, and your bike wheel hits them, and there's been a lot of, last year when I did it for the first time, there were quite a lot of DNFs because of it punctured, so you kind of need to ride higher pressures, and then you've got higher pressures, well, certainly for me, I don't have as much grip and it's slippery, so not exactly the best the best approach, but you don't have any choice, or you risk damaging a rim or puncturing. So I think actually I'm sure Richard Lewis punctured last year. I'm not sure if he had to quit the race because of it. Can't remember. So I think this might be the last lap. I'm not sure. It might be the last lap. Yeah, I think it is. So here I'm thinking, he's got a gap on me. Let's ride this well. and I cut that corner badly, and because on the upslope, I completely lost it, and it took me ages to remount, and that was it. I knew then that I didn't have enough to come back. I was going to try, but I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to come back because of what this race has been like. And I messed a few other things up on this lap too. So that was it. Steady racing. I mean, it almost sounds like I'm talking about the end of the race when it isn't. There's still most of a lap to go. But that's when Richard's gone. He's way too far ahead of me. I don't have a chance in catching him. I was going to put a really good, sprint on a straight somewhere, but I didn't get to because there was no point. I was still riding, but I think this lap was at least 15 seconds slower than all my other laps, which was frustrating. And you are chasing you are chasing, and you're gonna probably make more mistakes, which I think I did because of it. So what were my lap times? 7:24 was my first, 7:19, 7:12 was my best. I did 7:20, 7:14 was the previous one to this, and this one, where was it? Yeah, it was 7:47, which is really poor. And Richard did 7:23. No, sorry, Richard 7:19, and Steve Jones did 7:23 on that last lap. So I just, I was just gone, which is a bit disappointing. But there you go. I had a good race up till then. But it just shows you, my 7:12 is faster than any of Richard's laps and Steve Jones. If I managed to keep it on the road, on the track, I could finish ahead, but I didn't, as you can see. So there you go. And there was definitely part of me, hands up to it. I was thinking, well, I don't need to ride as hard because I'm not going to catch them. So there was definitely a bit of me that said, all right, okay, fair enough. Ahead of Richard Lewis was Kev Tonner, and ahead of Kev was Rich Warner, and they weren't that far ahead. Rich Warner's first lap was a 6:56, 6:50. Oh no, it wasn't. Sorry. Let me just. So Rich Warner. His second lap was a 6:56, which is a really fast lap. Did a 7:07, and then got slower. So, the lap times aren't massively different. The winner was Aid Lansley, if you didn't know, and his fastest lap was a 6:31.9, and his first two laps were within 0.2 of a second of each other, metronomic. So that's kind of the difference, really. I'd say so. Aid Lansley is how many? He's like 50 seconds faster than I am per lap. That is pretty insane. That just shows kind of the level of performance. And I did look at some of the elite racing to see what their times were, and I might try and have a look at it a bit later before this video finishes. Let's see if I can quickly have a look. Let's see. Open. Yeah, there it is. So here we go. So this is from the elite men's race, which was won by Thomas Mean, and Thomas Mean was lapping in at about 6 minutes. 6 minute pace. He did in his fastest was a 5:55, which is 5:55. And what did I say? What did I say? I'll find it. Aid Lansley's fastest time was. Hold on, I'm nearly there. It was 6:30. So he's half a minute faster than Aid Lansley. You know the, number Rumble 2 British rider. So that it just shows you, the level there. Aid is really really good and fast. But then you look at there's always someone above. Someone said that there's always another level. And Thomas Mean, when he goes and races in, I think he's racing in Kortrijk. He might be in the UCI race as well in Antwerp. There will be riders that are faster than him. So there's always another level. The important thing is that we have as much fun as we can. Certainly, where I'm racing in V40s. It's just a great experience, and love having a go and racing my racing buddies, it's a great sport. There's always something more you can do. I'm feeling good at this point. I'm thinking, right, thank goodness, I've nearly finished, and I'm just kind of getting around for the last bit. So great to try Torbay and experience the course. I was actually a little bit gutted that it didn't rain much, because everyone talks about pink mud that stays on your clothes for forever, and parts of your car. I was looking forward to that, but I didn't experience. I did have a little bit of the pink mud, almost fluorescent, on my tyres by the end of it. But nothing like the pictures and videos I've seen from previous rounds. Anyway, that's the end of the race. Thank you very much, organisers of the event. Here's everyone at the finish, and hopefully see you at Clanfield Cross.
Nice one.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
So you had a good lead on.
Yeah.
I went in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just slipped out a few times. Yeah. Yeah. Well done.
That's it, go.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't be worried.
It's good.
Made me work for it. I was trying to catch Kev, but he saw me coming and then got spurt on.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I could get him at the end, but still had the legs, so
Yeah.
I closed a little, but nowhere near enough.
Yeah. That was
I
good.
needed to make the ground up over there. Couldn't get it. It was good, yeah, it's a good race.
Yeah, well done.
So, first national I've done, so.
Well done.
It's alright, yeah.
Yeah, second.
I did one about 30 years, a bit different to a regional, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone's good.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Hey, grass is just.
It's hard starting at the back as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not bad, and then you were straight into like the hardest bit, and then of course the front guys are gone then, isn't it? Well, it's alright, yeah. Yeah, it's quite competitive, but I think it's one of the easier leagues, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it gets a really good track.
Yeah. Bet you do.
That's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we go vets, we go seniors in front, a minute in front of us, so then I've got to go through all this, and there's like 40 or 50 of them.
Yeah.
And I normally end up in the top 10, so
Yeah.
I've got to go through all the seniors.
Yeah.
Then you have grand vets behind us, and the 60s as well, so
Yeah.
there's like over 100 on the track.
Nice.
So on tracks where you're fast, I'm a mountain biker, so like the techier the track is, you're like fighting through, like you overtake 100 people a race.
Yeah, brilliant.
Mental.
That's so much fun.
It's mental, it is good fun.
Yeah.
And then this is crazy, because then you're like, you're not overtaking anything, you're racing one or, you
Yeah.
get your place, stay where you are. You
Yeah.
get your place, and you've got to try and fight just all day.
Yeah.
And it's shorter as well, isn't it? Oh, short.
Well, Rich. I struggled to do shit. Were you? Yeah, I played it really bad.
Surprising, I wasn't excited.
Because on Thursday I walked over 10 miles to work.
Yeah.
And where I tend to have a really good ride, and I dip, and I go well again.
Yeah, yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, weird.
I'm still tired from
Last Sunday?
Yeah, I was at full stretch last Sunday, and I
Yeah.
can't do it 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
It's good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good fun. I had a really good battle with Rich Lewis and another guy. We were just swapping places. Well, then the last lap, I messed up one of the downhills and I had to.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I was struggling a bit.
Yeah. So, and that was it. I was gone. And if you make a little mistake here.
You were with me for about 2 laps. You weren't far behind me.
Yeah.
were you?
No, I could
10
see you.
seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was watching you.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Just yeah. Not much in it. Oh, it's good. Oh, nice.
Might see my pulse bar.
Thanks.
Good to see some Western League racing.
Yeah.
More in sweat, mate.
Thank you.
I'll see you back at the cars. I'm going to have a little warm down.
Yeah, me too. Oh. Thanks, Laura. Thank you. I made it. Didn't crash, really.
I nearly went down. Once.
Yeah. Rich, any words to the camera on your performance today?
Not as good as last week.
Not as good as last week.
Full capacity last week. Bit down today.
Yeah, well, yeah.
On to Dalton.
On to Dalton.
Come on, the wheelers.
There's Rich. Beat me. That's 5-4, is it now, Rich?